Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer this evening, Logan Landers. And join me as always on Wednesdays to bring his expertise about these amazing NFL draft prospects going into the NFL pretty soon. You know him, you love him. It's Mr. Football, Vincent Turner. How you doing, Vince?
How you doing? I don't know if everybody loves me. Might be some people out there don't like me either.
Well, they got to respect your knowledge. They at least got to do that, Vince. You do bring some great NFL draft insight. And, hey, you know a lot about these players that a lot of us don't even know about. You do your homework. You do your game films. And you always give those grade reports that we all know and we all write down on our cheat sheets when we watch the NFL draft. We got a good one today. We're talking about Carlos Basham coming out of Wake Forest. He's defensive end or linebacker. He can pick and choose. He can do them both. But hey, be sure before we get started, if you enjoy this video of this draft prospect here today, if you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or if you're watching us live on Twitch, first off, thank you so much for tuning in. And please, if you can, like, comment, and share it to any of the groups you like. Share it to all your friends, your family, or just a friend, just anyone that enjoys football, whether it's a guy from Wake Forest, whether it's just a Carlos Basham fanatic, or any football fans. We got a large variety of players, teams, schools that we cover here. We got a lot of great stuff. So, hey, Vince, let's get right into it. Give us your world-famous grade report and tell us what you like about Carlos Basham out of Wake Forest.
Well, I'm going to say this about Mr. Basham. He's an old-school type of player, 6'3", 281 pounds from Roanoke, Virginia. And some couple of nice players just came out of Roanoke, Virginia. Let me back up. And a couple of nice athletes. You know the Barber brothers, Tiki and Rode, are from Roanoke. You know J.J. Redick, outstanding basketball player that's played like 17 years in the NBA. Then there was a running back by the name of Lee Suggs. They had a pretty good reel at Virginia Tech. But, let's get to Mr. Basham. I like him a lot, man. I like him because I just mentioned his size, 6'3", 281. But you're talking about a football player, old school, not going to do anything fancy, was a very productive football player at Wake Forest. 173 career tackles, 35.5 tackles for loss. Think about that, Logan. 35.5 tackles for loss. That's a lot of tackles for loss in your career.
Yes, sir.
19.5 sacks. That's telling me, I don't know anybody else out there, Logan, but that's telling me that's a guy that's doing a lot in the line of scrimmage and making plays.
Yep.
Then let's go to my famous grade report. When you look at the instincts, got to give him an A+. Outstanding run defender, A+. Football IQ and very smart, A+. Effort, high mortar guy, A+. And one thing I like about him, all the great defensive linemen has this about them. They attack the line of scrimmage. This is a football player, son. Then when you look overall, think about Wake Forest. They haven't had a lot of great football players that came out, but they've had two good ones. Michael McCrary was an outstanding lineman for the Baltimore Ravens, got a Super Bowl ring. And then Calvin Pace out of Lithonia, Georgia, by way of Wake Forest, was a pretty good player with the New York Jets. He was a first-round pick. But when I look at Mr. Bashman's game, I'm going to tell you some of the people that he really favored. Think about Mario Williams that came out as the #1 pick in 2006. One thing Mr. Williams could do, he was a good run defender. Think about right now Trey Flowers, who made some money with the New England Patriots, went over to the Detroit Lions and turned out a real good football player. Trey Flowers from the same school I went to, and right now, Logan, I don't mean no harm. I don't mean nobody to dislike me, but let me give love to the University of Arkansas. They in the Sweet 16. Can I call the Hogs this evening? Woo! Hey, Suey. So Mr. Trey Flowers is another guy Mr. Basham reminds me of. Then you got Eric Curry, who played on them great Alabama teams that won the national championship in 1992. Then Leroy Selman out of Oklahoma. Then think about Marcus Golden. It's turned out a pretty good player in the league from Arizona. Then you're talking about one more guy. That Mr. Basham. I'm just going on what I'm looking at. I'm talking about the effort, making plays, the great one out of Villanova, the Hall of Famer. I'm going to call him a poor man's Howie Long. This is a football player, sir. And if you want to look at game film, go back to the North Carolina game in 2019 because he got a lot of game film. But that game he had 2.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. And then against Virginia Tech this year, 9 tackles, 1 sack. This guy's a tremendous football player, and I'm going to tell you this. I wasn't surprised if he sneak in the end of the first round.
Yeah, he's definitely a baller, Vince. And whenever I was looking over this guy, looking at some of his stats, a little bit of his game footage, he impressed me a lot. He got better each and every season. Even in the COVID-shortened season, in the 6 games that he was able to play, he got 5 sacks. So that just tells you that this guy gets to the quarterback. He gets a lot of tackles as well. He's aggressive. He is very aggressive, and he's going to get to that ball one way or another. He's going to run through some people, and he don't care who's in his way. He's getting to that ball. He's going to try and either get a tackle, get a sack, or strip it out. And, hey, Vince, you always know I like to do things here. I bring my 3 teams who I think this man will be a grade A perfect fit for. And my first team that I got this young man headed to is the Tennessee Titans. Titans, they need a little bit of work on their defensive line. And I think Carlos Basham would be a great fit. They've had trouble getting to the quarterback over the past few seasons. This would be a great jolt to that defensive line. If they were to put him at that defensive end position, he would be phenomenal there. Hey, the second team, you brought up Trey Flowers in Detroit. You read my mind, Vince. I got him going to Detroit, partnering up with him. That would be a dynamic duo, one that people might even sleep on. Since they are with the Lions don't get too much media coverage. I think that could be a real dangerous tandem if he was to go to Detroit, pair up with Trey Flowers, like you said. Man, that would be impressive, and I'd be willing to. I paid money to see that. And my third team, finally, I have him headed to is a team who needs work on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that if they can get their offense solidified over the next couple of seasons, they might be a threat in this league. They just got the number 1 pick last year with Joe Burrow. We saw what happened this year, unfortunately, with that injury in the offensive line. But, man, this guy is impressive. I got him going to the Cincinnati Bengals as my 3rd pick. So I think that if he was able to go to any of those 3 teams, he would be a perfect fit. But, Vince, you brought him up. You brought up Trey Flowers. You got him going to the Detroit Lions. I got to go with him, man. I had the Titans originally going into this one, but I got to go with your boy from Arkansas. Give a little love here on 100 Yards of Football. I think that would be a great duo, underrated. I think people wouldn't look at them until they really start digging into the numbers and see just how dynamic those two would be. That would be a great fit, I believe. So that's my 3 teams I think this young man will be headed to. Like you said, Vince, he might slip into a late first-round pick. If not, I for sure think a day 2 pick will be going to him in the 2nd round. But this guy is very impressive. And like you said, Wake Forest hasn't produced too many great football players over the year. They're not known for being a football powerhouse, but this guy definitely has the it potential, and he's got a lot of great poise. He's got a lot of great athleticism. And a lot of things that you look for in a quality linebacker or, hey, even a defensive end. This guy can do both, like we said. He's got everything you want and then some. I love this young man, and I can't wait to see how he's going to do in the NFL. So give me your final words, Mr. Football, about what you like about Carlos Basham, and bring it on home for us.
I think what you're going to get an old school football player that I think is going to be a safe draft pick. I think from day one, he's going to come in and produce. One thing about him, he's a 5th-year senior, so he's played a lot of football. He was redshirted at Wake Forest. He kind of, as you mentioned, Logan, he grew each year and got better. And when you look at his film, he's constantly making plays. He's constantly making plays in the run game. And he also has a great pass rushing skill set where he's making sacks. As I said before, anybody in their career that's get 173 tackles, 30.5 tackles for loss, and 19.5 sacks is doing business. And I like his room to grow. He's 6'3", about 281. I can see him either slimming down to 6'3", 275, either moving up, maybe playing in the 3-4 and being 6'3", 290. But this young man is a football player out of Roanoke, Virginia. And we all know about what's in the water up there, the Barber brothers, J.J. Reddick, and Lee Suggs. So my final words, I'm going to give kudos, as I did to a young man this morning. It's a great band out of London, England, by the name of Def Leppard, lead singer Joe Elliott. They had a song out called Animal. This young man is an animal, and he's going to be an animal on the next level in the 2021 NFL draft.
And that's a perfect song, I think, for him, Vince. He really is an animal on that football field. And like I said, I think this guy's going to translate in whatever scheme they put him in. He's going to be able to adapt to it like a fish to water. He's going to be great. Whatever team drafts him, whether it's my 3 teams I pick, whether it's the Titans, whether it's the Lions or the Bengals, or if it's any other team, you're going to get a great ball player who's going to provide a lot of tackles and a good bit of sacks for it. He's going to be a great person to help booster any defense he heads into. Well, hey, if you guys have enjoyed this video here tonight, please, first off, thank you for watching it. We always appreciate all the love and support here. Also, hey, if you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or our Twitch channel, hey, you can like, comment, share. Also, be sure to follow our pages for all of our great content. We'll put out at least 10 videos a week, I think, and we got a lot of amazing content. If you like football content, we got that and a lot more. We got great profiles, draft profiles. We got legend interviews with former players, Hall of Famers, coaches at the high school, college, NFL. We got everything over here. You can just scroll through our feed and you'll see over the past couple of years, man, how much we've been growing and how much content we have. There's always something for you, for your team. If you want to look at our old draft profiles, we've done a lot of really good players who have translated well into the league, and you can see how we thought they were going to do. And hey, I think we did pretty good, Vince. We've gotten a few gems in our previous draft profiles, and hopefully we can look back on Carlos Basham and think the same. But also, hey, be sure to go check out our podcast as well. We are available on both Spotify and Apple Music. Just type in 100 Yards of Football, and you'll see our logo there at the 50-yard line where you can view all of our old previous draft profiles, legends interviews, old game previews, see if we got the scores right for previous Super Bowls or any opening day type of deals. We got everything like in that and then some. We got a lot of great content over there, and please go support it. We've been doing great work with the Believe Podcast Network, who've been helping us out tremendously. Once again, that's 100 Yards of Football on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to go check us out and subscribe. We upload daily to that, and you will always have something, whether you're at work, headed to work, with the kids, doing some yard work. We got something for you. Just be sure to go over there and subscribe. Hey, for my man, Mr. Football, Vince Turner, bringing his draft knowledge like every week. Hey, thank you for coming on the show, Vince. It's always a pleasure learning more about these draft prospects and how great they are. Hey, I always love doing these videos with you, Vince. We got more coming up right here on 100 Yards of Football. Stay tuned.